So Shabby people might be wondering why we're doing a podcast after such a long time. Do you want to tell them why?
Yeah, well, I suppose I should. Well, you know it, obviously.
Obviously, I know.
I had to make a dash to India because, there were some family matters that I had to be there for. But there's something rather strange happened on my way to Mumbai, on the flight from Heathrow to Mumbai. I was sitting in the middle seat and the aisle was empty for the longest time. So 10 minutes before takeoff, this girl with cropped hair and a Costa coffee in her hand, she comes rushing. Naturally, she had just about made the flight, yeah? So I got up, the gentleman next to me on the aisle, he got up.
I bet you were wishing that the seat was empty.
Of course I was wishing, because I was hoping to, kind of move into the window seat myself. So she came rushing and then she said that, okay, that's my seat, can I get in there? I said, yeah, of course. So she got in there, and I was in no state of mind to have conversations, because naturally, I wanted to just get to India quickly. And she was in a chatty mood. So she started out by saying, so are you going to Mumbai?
She was chattier than you.
Chattier than me, and completely unprovoked, unprompted. So we got chit-chatting and she said, are you going on holiday? I said, no, actually, I'm going for a thing. And then I said, what were you doing in London? So she said, I was here to shoot a video. So the penny should have dropped then. I should have asked her something, relating to what she had just said. But it didn't, because obviously I was thinking of other things. So after the longest chat about this and that and relationships and, I'm getting away and I don't really know what I'm doing and the best thing about life is doing da-da-da-da-da. Suddenly she says, so what do you do? I said, well, I'm actually a radio presenter, besides many other things. So she said, so you might have heard of one of my songs. I'm sure you have. My name is Jazz, by the way. So I said, oh, hi. She said, Jasmine Sandler's. I said, what? The Sip Sip girl? She said, yep. And also, Jab main yaar na mile te mar jawa. I said, tu hai lajawab tere jalve hazar. She said, God, you know your lyrics.
Are you sure she did the talking?
Welcome to the Shabby And Man podcast. We are partners, parents, podcasters, broadcasters,
and everything else in between.
And I think this is officially our first podcast in the new season, autumn.
Autumn? Yes. You love autumn, don't you?
I do. School holidays out of the way, bank holidays out of the way.
Yeah, but it's back to the grind.
Yeah, back to the grind. I like it, actually. How do you feel about autumn?
I like autumn as well. Not just the festivals. How many festivals are there? There's Durga Puja, there's Diwali.
Dashera, Navratri, Durga Puja, Diwali, Karwa Chauth.
I was going to say Karwa Chauth, to bhul gayi.
Nahi yaad hai mujhe.
I also think autumn is a time of year. Solitude, thoughtfulness, everything's laid back again. You're happy you can wear your boots, correct?
Yes.
Football's back. It's a good time. Of course, there are disadvantages as well. Everything is PSL. Do you know what PSL is? Or is it SPL?
What are you talking about?
Spiced pumpkin latte.
You got that wrong. Pumpkin spiced latte.
So it is PSL.
It is PSL.
I'm not sure how it goes.
Yeah. But why are you calling it a disadvantage? I actually look forward to it, because its disadvantage is Halloween. Suddenly, UK pretending to be America for the last 10 years.
This Halloween is very, very special.
Why is that?
Brexit.
Oh, no, that's true. That's a different sort of a horror story that will unfurl this Halloween.
We have to do a Brexit special one day.
No, we'll do a Brexit. When you care enough about Brexit, I know
Zindagi ka sawal hai, when you care enough.
नहीं ठीक है, अब जब कोई और हमारे लिए decisions बना रहा है और हमारा कोई उसमें the public has spoken and we've given our verdict. Now it's for the politicians to work it out.
Well, I'm going out to vote. Don't know about you.
I seriously thought you were going to say one of the disadvantages of autumn is when we wake up in the morning, it's pitch dark. But
that's where we're different. You love sunlight.
I do.
All the time.
Yes.
It wakes me up. I like the fact that it's dark. I get to sleep a bit longer, because as soon as the sun shines, I'm up.
But one thing that both of us like...
We need blackout blinds, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
We need blackout blinds, but we also need a touch of Nordic noir on television. That's something both of us enjoy, because it's somehow autumn and winter is reminiscent of everything that comes out of Sweden and Denmark and Norway, and all those grim, gritty, dark thrillers.
What is the word called? Hagi?
Hig.
Because Hag means something else in Hindi, doesn't it?
Please, okay, don't go there. So anyway, autumn. So this is essentially our first podcast this autumn. And just to set the scene, can I just also mention, I read...
You may.
Once in a while,
Mention
I read
away, please.
Robert Crompton, who does the Beta Mail, that column in one of these weekend supplements.
The
and
Times.
he was talking about autumn is his favorite season as well. He says that all this summer holiday shenanigan, everything's out of the way, and not a bank holiday in sight. And he says said that, this is the most productive time of the year because this is when you're actually effectively setting the scene for next year.
Most productive time of the year.
No, because this is when you're setting the scene for next year because, beach mein Christmas aayega, wo sab aayega. But you're actually looking ahead at 2020, which is a scary thought right now. We're only in September, by the way.
Talking about new seasons, I've also learned a couple of new things since we've done our last podcast. New words.
How to make an omelette properly since I was away?
Yeah, I had to make an omelette. I had to find out where the instructions were for the washing machine.
Yes.
I don't have a istri wala and a dhobi wala here,
What were you hinting at? What have you learned?
So a couple of fantastic new words which I think they become part of the lexiconary here.
Lexicon.
What did I say?
Lexiconary.
Oh, I mean...
You mean dictionary and lexicon?
It's an amalgamation, new words,
Oh, good. Thank God you said amalgamation right.
Okay. Have you heard of a word called mukbang?
Mukbang?
Yeah. I know you're bong, but
I know.
mukbang is something totally different because even the kids knew it. It's a YouTube thing where it's a new craze. I think it started in South Korea or something, where people talk and discuss things on YouTube, but eating as fast as they can while eating.
While eating?
Yeah.
Isn't that the first thing they teach you about
well,
manners?
It's really taken off.
Do not talk when with your mouth full.
We say spill the beans. They say, in these YouTube things that I've heard, they say, let's spill the tea. That's the gossip. That's the gossip, by the way. But my favorite word has got to be Japandi.
Japandi?
Yeah. No idea?
Something to do with Japan, but I have no idea what the D is.
It's to do with furniture and architecture.
Scandi.
You're close. It is when you kind of, it's to do with flats, houses and all, when you kind of mix Japanese and Scandinavian styles together. I don't know, like think bonsai tree with IKEA.
Marie Kondo doing IKEA.
Yeah, so...
Something like that.
So it's Japandi.
Japandi.
Vegan?
Vegan?
Yeah.
Is a vegan who's quite vague about things.
You're right. It's a vegan who loves cheese too much. So they can't say, I can't be a vegan, I'll just be a vegan.
Not a bangan.
Yeah. But here's one that you really love.
What?
Ottolenghi.
Ottolenghi.
Yes. After one of your
Has
favorite
it
chefs.
something to do with Ottolenghi?
Yes. His...
So it can't be Otti, it's Otto.
Yeah, well they've changed it to Otti. Okay, Ottolenghi.
Ottolenghi. What could that possibly be?
A
recipe that runs into many pages?
Yeah, his recipe is very, very intricate.
Yeah.
So that's basically what it is. So it's a very lengthy recipe. Yeah. It's Ottolenghi.
The other day, he did one of his recipes with 5 ingredients, supposedly. He said that, I was very inspired by Jamie Oliver, who did the 5-ingredient cookbook. So here's my salad using 5 ingredients. And the first thing that people pointed out on social media was, we've just counted, there are more than 5 ingredients in your picture alone, let alone everything else. So Ottolenghi.
Any words you've learned?
I read about hunger fog.
Now you're in India. Do you learn any Indian words?
No, please. I was mostly in a hospital, okay? In a car, either on my way to hospital or in hospital. Though there was a funny moment that happened with my sister's driver. I'll talk about that later. But I've read about hunger fog. Have you read about hunger fog?
No.
Apparently it's scientific thing now. Dundee University carried out a research, and they say that while people know that going into a supermarket when you're hungry always invariably leads to bad choices, right? Because you're driven by hunger, you'd pick up the first thing that comes to mind.
We know that. That's nothing new.
But they're saying that any big decision in life made on an empty stomach is going to be one that you regret. So whether you want to meet the estate agent to buy a house, whether you want to go down on one knee and propose to someone, whether you're looking at where to send your son to uni, or any big decision in life, make it at a time when you're not hungry. Because when your judgment is clouded by hunger, I think that is what it is, hunger fog. When your mind is foggy with, thoughts of food, you're more likely to make decisions that you might regret later. That makes a lot of sense.
Just one comment I want to make.
Yes.
That I don't think it's your job to send your son to choose which university your son's going to. I think that's his decision.
Oh, I was just being a desi mum there. Speaking of uni, this 16-year-old girl, Swedish girl, the climate activist who has taken the world by storm, not even in uni. In fact, you told me that she was homeschooled, right? She didn't even go to a proper school.
Greta Thunberg.
How amazing is this girl?
Have you seen those photographs that 1 year ago she was by herself outside the Swedish parliament?
Protesting.
1 year, 1 month later, 4 million people marched for climate change yesterday.
I think climate change, sustainability, all of that now has really, really become mainstream.
It was on the back burner, but this generation, this new generation.
Yeah, not just back burner. I think earlier it was a very trendy thing
They're
to do,
going-
to be vegetarian, to be vegan, to campaign for climate change, to have a compost thing in your garden, and
To have an electric
or
car.
electric car.
And not that it wasn't trendy. You had to be extremely rich as well.
Yeah, you had to be.
Everything
it
was
was
more
not
expensive.
affordable. Speaking of that, how amazing it is! All these fruit and veg things that have been genetically modified, and to the naked eye, they look really beautiful because everything is perfect. People have started shunning that, right? It's trendy.
You
now
can
to
get
have
crooked fruits.
crooked fruits, and everything that's organic and
Straight
natural,
bananas.
all of that. Yeah, don't be silly, okay? There are no straight bananas. So all of that is very trendy. So that story I had from Mumbai has something to do with this actually. So a couple of days after I'd been there, and my brother-in-law had his operation and all of that, and he was actually on the mend. So my sister said,
Now, people might be wondering why you went to India. You might as well explain.
I went there because my brother-in-law had heart surgery, and so I had to be there. And actually, my only sister, my only brother-in-law, all of that. It was fairly serious, so the whole family was there. But by God's grace, it's gone off well. He's recovering well. This was exactly 3 weeks ago. So while I was still there, so one day my sister said that, oh, please, on the way to the house from the hospital, just pick up some fruit and veg, yeah, because the cook has said there's nothing there, and Mumbai, as you know, was drowning then. 7 days I was there, I didn't see a speck of sunshine. So I don't know Mumbai at all, right? So I got into the car with the driver, and I thought the driver would be the best person to ask. So I said to him, भैया जी, यहाँ पे, घर जाने से पहले थोड़ा सब्जी लेके जाना है, कहीं सब्जी के लिए ले चलेंगे? So
I
we were
thought you
passing
speak in
Juhu.
Mumbai. Barabar.
नहीं बराबर कुछ नहीं. So we were passing Juhu, as it happens, yeah. So he said, अरे मैडम, मैं आपको उस भाजी वाले के पास ले जाता हूँ. Mumbai people call it भाजी. Delhiites we call it sabzi, they call it भाजी. मैं आपको उस भाजी वाले के पास ले जाता हूँ जहाँ पे एकता कपूर और शोभा कपूर भाजी खरीदने आते हैं. And I was like, what?
That's over starstruck, I think.
That was really silly because I had my mum in the car as well and my sister's mother-in-law. So my mother's reaction was, what? Are you saying कि एकता कपूर के आलू का टेस्ट अलग होगा? एकता कपूर के पास सब भाजी खरीदने का टाइम कहाँ मिलता है? Isn't she too busy making all these dramas? And my question to him was, how can I trust you? How do you know? How can I take your word for it?
So you were enamored with it. You said, "Oh, Ekta Kapoor, I better go."
I
there."
wasn't, but
You
I
thought
was just
you might bump into Jitendra.
No, listen, I was curious. I said, Bhaiya, how do you know कि एकता कपूर भाजी वाला है? Huh? How can I trust you? So he said, अरे
Because
madam.
I know, because the car had Saas Bahu kind of.
No, not really. He said, मैडम मेरा तो बॉलीवुड कनेक्शन है ना. I said, what? क्या बॉलीवुड कनेक्शन है? मैं सुरेश ओबेरॉय जी का ड्राइवर हुआ करता था. He said to me, that was kind of game over for me. Suresh Oberoi of all people. I mean, Suresh Oberoi, his Bollywood career was long while it lasted, but he wasn't exactly Abhishek Bachchan or Ayushmann Khurrana, right? Anyway, so my point was, when we went to that sabzi wala, we actually went to that bhaji wala because he was on the way. All you could see was these genetically modified things because every aloo was perfect. Every tomato was red and shiny and round. And I was thinking that this is exactly what the Western world at least, is turning away from. But there you go. Ekta Kapoor and Shobha Kapoor's bhaji wala in Juhu.
Have you not seen those costume dramas? Everything is. I was going to say genetically modified, but I won't say that. Everything is shiny.
Now that we are talking about fruit and veg, strange coincidence, we ended up watching a Bengali film on Netflix the other day.
We did.
Which is called Macher Jhol.
So explain to me, mache means fish.
Yeah.
So in your mind, fish is either what? Fruit or veg? Tell me.
Fish is fish, okay? It's not fruit or veg.
So you said talking about fruit.
No, as in food, talking about food. Macher Jhol is fish curry. And it is a simple Bengali fish curry, but I think it's a dish that people adapt to their own taste.
बहुत खाई मैंने. Ragu.
Rahu. Ragu is a beef ragu, that's Italian. Rahu, katla.
What did I say?
Ragu.
I meant rahu, of course.
Yes. So, Macher Jhol, I loved the film. We're 2 years behind the curve. But it's about this chef, Bengali chef, and the story kind of oscillates between Paris and Kolkata. And I absolutely loved it. It uses food as a subtext for telling a rather complex story. It didn't have a perfect ending, which I loved, which is a reflection of life. It's not all happily ever after.
And you were most thrilled because I had to watch it with subtitles. You didn't.
I didn't, because I understood Bangla and I understood English. I didn't understand French. Naturally, there I needed the subtitles. But stylishly shot.
Though I understood more, I got the gist of it. I can understand
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, but so beautiful.
By the way, guys, আমি Bengali jamai, kintu ame Bangla bujina.
Almost there. First time you said it was 20 years ago.
I know. Right, 20 years ago we got married, guys, but there's a whole list of pros and cons, so we'll do a proper episode on that.
Yes, because that's another milestone that's gone by in the time that we didn't do a podcast in the last 3-4 weeks. So that's going to be for another day. For the moment, should we just call it...
We should have called it quits years ago, no?
Should we just say bye-bye?
Bye.
See you next time.